Coach?
Yeah, had a good week of practice. Knew against the team of Alabama's caliber, we're going to have to come in and play a clean game, execute well, and have a few things go our way. Certainly spotting them a 14-0 lead. Within the first 3 minutes didn't help. Thought our kids played hard. I thought they competed to the last whistle. But at the end of the day, we didn't coach or play well enough to beat a team like Alabama today. Questions?
Start with Garrett in the front.
Joe, with the opening kickoff, was it a miss-hit or what happened?
Sir?
Was the opening kickoff a miss-hit? Or?
Yeah, the game plan with how we've been kicking and not getting touchbacks or kicking it particularly deep and wanting to keep it out of their guys' hands. The idea was to sky kick. So the first one that you saw in the second half where they caught on the 30, that was it. So it was a miss-hit on this part.
Other questions? We'll go to Steve.
Steve. No pun, Steve.
Coach, you elected to go with Tommy today. Is he QB1 now, or is this going to be a week-to-week thing? And what are your thoughts about his play?
Yeah, I think he's QB1, and Garrett's kind of getting over some of the stuff that he had health-wise. And Tommy had a better week of practice, and Tommy ran the ball well, and he's right now a guy that's executing the pass game a little bit better. So, I thought Tommy, like I said, I thought he ran it well. I thought he completed the ball decently. We weren't able to push it down the field very much, but Tommy's a guy moving forward, and Garrett's continuing to work, and when we have an opportunity, we'll get him in there.
Logan, the coach is right.
Joe, any update on Kylan or CJ or any of the guys that left the game with injury?
Yeah, Kylan's an upper body. We're optimistic there that'll be day to day, and unfortunately CJ's a lower body, and he'll be out for the rest of the year.
The questions? We'll come up front. Actually, let's go to the back with Tom, and then we'll come to the front.
You mentioned Tommy ran the ball well, but passing-wise, 12 completions for, I think, 82 yards.
Yeah.
What was a couple of the deep shots that didn't connect? Was it really more of what Alabama was doing, or what was maybe just without seeing the tape, your first impressions of the pass game?
I think it's a combination of things. The shots that we took downfield, one to Osiris, one to Guidry, a couple others throughout the game. They covered them up. We didn't complete them, and knew we were going to have to make an attempt at some explosive plays down the field. And quite frankly, there are a bunch of other ones that we had called, and they melted out and got underneath the deeper route. And those were some of the checkdowns you saw to Kylan and Dedrick and Nick and Lee. So there were some other things designed to get the ball down the field, but based on the coverage and how they were playing it, we had to dump it down.
Tyler?
Joe, the top three teams in the division being Auburn, LSU, Alabama, last year against those teams, pretty competitive, even beat Auburn. This year, the margin's been a lot wider. What do you think has contributed to that margin, and is it them being that much better, or have you guys taken a step back potentially?
No, I don't necessarily say step back. I'd say it's a combination of things. We'll continue to look at them, work at them, and get better.
Joe, with 2 games left, obviously you guys still have a chance to go to a bowl game. Is there at least some, I know it's just walking off the field, but is there at least some confidence that you guys still have what you wanted in front of you, and that's a postseason berth?
Yeah, we have confidence every week. Went into this game with confidence. Obviously the kids are down, and they should be, and never going to be upset with or never going to be pleased with a loss. But we're going to come in tomorrow. We're going to watch film. We're going to get better off it. We got to reload and get ready for Abilene Christian, and work to be 1-0 next week and get win number 5.
Steve?
Coach, along those lines of Tyler's question, how do you begin to kind of narrow the gap against the front runners in the Southeastern Conference?
Yeah, that was an easy question. I think it's a bunch of things. It's recruiting, it's player development, it's coaching, it's execution. There's a lot of things that we've got to do from an entire program standpoint to cut that gap and on and off the field, and that's what we're working every day to like I said, to bridge that gap.
Go back to Tyler and Ben.
The injuries on your side already addressed, but with Tua going down, I mean, that's a pretty unique thing happening. One of the best players in college football. To kind of see that and to see Mississippi State fans rally around it and kind of support him. What was that moment for you? I know you're coaching a game, but what was that moment for you to see him go off, and especially the way that he did?
No, you hate it for any kid to get hurt, and he's such a great player and a great representative of college football, and they're having a very good year. You don't want it to happen, and you kind of feel for him, and I'm sure he'll be able to bounce back quickly.
Ben?
Coach, Najee Harris had 4 touchdowns in the first half. I mean, what did you see from him? And I know you still have to look at the film, but was there anything you diagnosed, at least in the run game, that maybe you guys weren't getting done?
Yeah, I mean, he's a very good back. Had a great second half against LSU. And one of the top backs in the country. I think, a couple things early on. We got cotton man coverage, and he got outside, and we weren't able to run him down. And some of the other things were just him running behind his pad. So big physical offensive line. Good tight end, good scheme. And the kid runs hard.
Go all the way to the back.
Coach, going off of that, with Najee Harris playing very well, obviously, but also Bama is known they have a bunch of very good skill position players. How difficult is it to game plan for not one, not two, but not three, but four dynamic playmakers, and then the quarterback, obviously?
Yeah, and even some more sitting behind them that don't get in. I mean, it's a choose your poison deal. If you're going to sell out to stop the run, as you saw, we single covered, and they were able to win some of those one-on-one matchups, protect and deliver the ball. And if you're going to fall back and play coverage and play, split safeties, and they got numbers in the box, and they're going to hand it off and try to roll you off the ball with that offensive line. So it's got to be a mix. I thought, obviously, I think we held the 3 in the second half, so I thought that was good by our defense that way. But it's very difficult to defend a team of this caliber without many weapons.
Back to Tyler.
Joe, it didn't seem like Tommy had a particularly bad game throwing the ball, but then you look, he only had 82 yards. Where would you say the mishaps, I guess, in the passing game were, and why the production was pretty low?
And it looked like a couple were catchable. I don't want to call them drops, but they were kind of in the area. But I think the bigger thing from a production standpoint, like I mentioned earlier, we took some shots down the field and weren't able to connect with them. And through the 21 attempts, there were some deeper routes called. They got underneath them, we had to drop them down. So I think, accuracy was okay, but we weren't able to get a ton of production from a yardage standpoint.
Yeah.
With the way the offense wasn't necessarily moving the ball as well as it had in past weeks, I mean, do you feel like that kind of sort of hurt the defense, at least, with that pushing them back onto the field quickly and just not necessarily getting as many first downs?
We had 32 to 27 time possession. I think in the latter stages of the first half, there were a couple 3 and outs that got the D back on the field pretty quickly. But like I said, we were making a concerted effort going into the game. This wasn't one where you wanted to be running plays at breakneck speed. You kind of wanted to get into the best play possible, run some of the clock and be effective. So certainly 3 and outs against a team like this isn't ideal.
Anything else? Great, we'll have players shortly.